Today's project, even though we're in the middle of summer, is a Christmas quilt. So the pattern is called Winter Solstice. Do you like it?
Yes.
Thank you for always saying yes when I ask that question, by the way. Still a fragile soul. Here we are featuring red and green fabrics. In addition to that, we have some background fabrics, and we have fabrics that we use for the stars to keep them consistent. In this quilt, we actually have you separate into two separate colors, red and green. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can. It's listed so that there's color 1 and color 2. In our sample, color 1 is red. That is important only because the red is a little more prominent in the blocks. And then we repeat the red on the border, and we use it in the setting triangle here. So we use the same color red on the outer border, and then we use it in this triangle, and we plan to have color 2 up against the color we choose for the border. So if you want color, if you want a different color for your border, if you're using different fabrics, or if you're using green, make green your color 1. Do you follow? Okay, so in our sample, color 1 is red. It is one simple block set on point with some setting triangles. It's really a very simple quilt, but I think it's amazingly striking. It's one of my mom's designs, and if you know my mom's designs, she's like way super talented. My mom is Georgette Dell'Orco, and she designed this a little while ago, and I had it in my bag of tricks waiting for just the perfect fabrics to pull it out. And I think these reds and greens for Christmas are just it. You want to see how it comes together?
Yes.
Okay, the first thing you need is the Strip Tube Junior. You can get by without it. There are alternate instructions. You can use Strip Tube Senior. I really like Strip Tube Junior for this. So I told you we have cream for the background, and then we have 2 star points. We have a copper color and a gold color. In our sample, I don't know if you guys can see it, they're metallic. They're actually a little metallic touch to them to give it a little bling. In order to make the first part of our block, the first thing we'll do is sew one of the star points, in this case the dark star point, to a background. On this side we have the background fabric, and we have sewn it right sides together with the dark star point. Yeah. This way so you can see the strips. You can see the seams. We sew a 1/4 inch seam on the top and a 1/4 inch seam on the bottom to use the tube technique. We all know the tube technique, right?
Yes.
Strip tube ruler. In this case, Strip Tube Junior because he's little. 2.5 inch on the bottom stitching line like this. Cut up and down, cut out a triangle. Triangle looks a little bit like this. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Yes. Looks a little bit like this. You pull it away from your strip set, open it up, you have your diagonally pieced square.
Brilliant.
That's all right. So here you have the dark star point and background. You're gonna, next time you cut off the top stitching line like this. And then the bottom and then the top all the way down. You'll do the same thing with the light star point. Cut out a triangle, opens up into diagonally pieced square.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Now it's the light star point. So you make a bunch like this and a bunch like that. You follow me? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now we're going to add a background fabric. Oh, we do one more, and that is a light star point against a dark star point. Get a block like that. Yeah? Brilliant, thank you. Now we're going to add a background square to create our inner block like this. Okay? Make a bunch like that. You see coming together? Yes. We're going to put this over here. Next thing we're going to do is make the points that are in the block. Here we have a background square on top of a color 1 strip. Draw a diagonal line on that background square. Do that before you bring it to your sewing machine. Draw all these diagonal lines. If you don't want to draw the diagonal lines, you know our favorite tool is the folded corner clipper. If you do draw a diagonal line, don't make it a heavy black permanent pen. We've done this on ours so you can see it. Faint diagonal line. Place it on your background or your color 1 segment. See it's on top of it. Draw on that, stitch on that drawn diagonal line. Flip your strip over so you have a triangle at the point like that. Make sure it is flush on the top and on the sides. If it is, flip it back over, trim away that excess fabric behind there, and then press into place. You're going to repeat this technique with the background square on a larger color 1 segment. Be careful of your placement, they will vary. And then you're going to repeat it again on color 2 segment, flip, color 3 segment, flip. Are you following? By the magic of television, we have all of those things done. There's another square. When you sew your blocks together, you start with this center piece, and then let's see if I get this right. You guys need to spell me. Is that right? So you grow it out just like you would a log cabin block, square in the center, add the smaller piece, attach, press, the next piece, attach, press, the next piece, attach, press, the next piece, attach, press. You put those, what, am I wrong? What's wrong?
That's right. That's right.
I think it's right.
That's correct.
The center was.
Turn the star corner.
Turn the
around.
star point.
Star point.
There you go.
Is that better? Yeah. Okay, so it's super important to follow the diagram. Because you think you got it, but you don't. This is your block. This is actually block 2, or block B. Block A is exactly the same. Actually, this is block A. Block B is exactly the same, except now the color changes. Color 1 is in the smaller, and color 2 is on the larger pieces. So that's the simple block. I mean, that's the whole quilt right there. You can do that, right? When you set it, you will set it on point, which means that the block will be will rotate 45 degrees, and you'll be sewing your rows together as diagonal pieces. Here's your block. You see it? That's block A. Here's block B. Block A and B will alternate. And there's your diagonal row right there. Notice when 4 blocks come together, they create that star.
Yay.
Yeah, that's why it's so important to have your block like this and not like this. Although that's a very pretty block, that won't achieve the pattern. So the 4 come together to create those inner stars, which I think make the whole thing sparkle. Now it is set on point, so we have setting triangles. In order for this quilt to fill the whole way across and up, we actually have pieced setting triangles. We need to complete the pattern. And some of the piece setting triangles, they are very simply pieced. You cut out a triangle, that's just a square cut in half, and then you add color 2 strips on each side of it, and then trim so it looks like this. Okay? That's your simple pieced setting triangle. And that will go up against your block, a little like this. You see that? Okay, now in this quilt, I think there's either 2 or 4 blocks that actually have stars that need to be pieced into the setting triangles to continue the star pattern out to the edges. It's very simply the same technique. The only difference is you will add another piece. This is going to be your star setting triangle. Can you see them? Have you found them yet? Want me to show you in the quilt? Yeah, I think there's just one on the top and bottom. Here is a simple piece setting triangle. You see the one we just made? Here's another one. Here's another one. And then another one. Now look at the very top. Do you see that triangle up there? That is actually, looks like this. Do you see it now? Yes. You need this block just to finish off that top star and one on the bottom. On some of the different sizes, you'll have them on the sides too, just to finish off the stars and make it look super nice. Not hard to do, it's the same block we just made, same technique on each side. The segments will be just a little bit larger. And now we have the color 2 on the outside. The only difference is, notice there's an extra little piece to make the triangle bigger, because your setting triangle needs to be bigger than your block. The block that we just had up had 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. Now here we have 5 on the sides. And then we cut a diagonal line to square it all up so that it's a nice smooth triangle. The pattern will tell you how to do it. It's not hard, but I think it makes all the difference in this pattern is to have those triangles, setting triangles pieced to finish the stars. Don't you think? Yes. We add border 1, and then we add the final border, border 2. Whenever you're sewing a quilt on point, it might have a tendency to stretch just a little bit. So we highly recommend that you measure your border, your quilt in 3 places to get the length of your quilt before you add borders. And then again, go get the width to measure, to get the true width of your quilt, and then piece your border segments to that size. Top and bottom the same. Don't just slap on the borders, especially with a quilt on point. So we have border 1 and then border 2. Not too bad, huh? Not hard at all. Pretty, isn't it?
Yes.
So this one's called Winter Solstice. And if you don't have it, ask for it by name. Go to your local quilt shop. Now, it doesn't have to be Christmas fabrics.
Do you have another colorway?
I do have another quilt. Here. So what I have pictured up here on the wall is the throw size, and it uses 35 total prints. We separated them into red and green. This one's going to be the lap, and we've done something a little bit different. Yes, this is Lonnie. Is that different or what?
I like it.
All right, so notice color 1 is a consistent color. It's black on black strips. They all kind of read solid. But now color 1 isn't a different print strips. As we see in our sample up on the wall, we have different reds and we have different greens. In this quilt, the blacks, color 1, look pretty much solid. And we picked some fabrics from cotton and steel to cut out the strips to give it contrast. It's pretty neat, huh? Totally different. Does it get you inspired?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm playing with this pattern in a whole different color combination too, having a blast doing it. So this is called Winter Solstice. And here we feature the solid black out on the border again and the solid white on the inside. And look at this wonderful, two wonderful colors that put together to make the stars. Aren't they great? Well, that's, any questions on this new pattern, Winter Solstice? Well, I hope you've inspired you to find another way to use those 2.5-inch strips. And I thank you for coming, and join us next month when we have another pattern that uses 2.5-inch strips.